Hello again, this is Cookie Killer with our next mod review. This is one that people probably know well. It is the Discovery World mod. Now, this mod adds somewhere around 250 plus dinosaurs as well as unique alphas. I'm not going to fly around and show those off too much as it would be difficult for me at least to tell some of them apart as from standard uh, varieties that I have installed mod-wise and what Discovery does. Now, this here, I do have this Thorny. This is one of the alphas that are, alpha variations, I should say, that are added by Discovery. They come in more forms than just the Thorny Dragon. That's just the one I happen to find. Now, more than anything, the buildings are what I probably mess with the most on here. They have a chem station that does more or less everything that you would need a standard chem station to. I think it has an appearance variation. A lot of these buildings probably do exactly what the other ones do, but I will say they've also added things that weren't in the game before, such as the bed here. The mini vault is very good for saving space. It holds the same amount of storage as a standard vault. And the grinder definitely saves room with the mini grinder while doing everything that a grinder does. And of course, same thing with the replicator, which can also create the Zeppelin and the stopwatch, as well as tech items. You can do the train from here, and you can do the Sir robot. But while it may do everything or the same thing as a standard one, the amount of room you save with the mini versions of these, especially in things like the Forge and the Replicator, which are enormous buildings, especially the Replicator, it's very helpful. They also have a few unique ones like the beer. The Discovery beer barrel will probably make beer a little faster than the cooking pot for you for taming the dinos that need that. Having the smaller version of the fabricator is helpful. Some of these have unique designs to them, like the generator here, but this also, I believe, has a wider range. As you can see, a much larger range than the standard electrical generator. And they also have items like the oil pump here, which will just gradually collect oil as you leave it. If you find an oil vein, which I do believe those have been back in the game since Scorched Earth, it'll collect a lot more, a lot faster. The air conditioner, I believe, is a lot more helpful than the original. And this here is great storage for ammunitions. It'll pull them off of here from your inventory into there without having to worry about sorting it out by hand. And then there is this here, which allows you to conjure a summoner for a boss fight, as well as create all of the items that they in fact have, like the tech shield. Uh, I believe they also add the sword and the rifle back into the game, as well as the bow. And yes, there's the grenade launcher, the mini drill, and the tech sword. They add a lot of things that the standard game has not yet added, like the phase pistol, which I found to be a very helpful device in the original game. It also lets you create the rocket pods and cannon shells for defense turrets. And they also have pearl extractors and gas extractors. They have wood storage of different types, as well as metal. So they have unique storage devices for your different items, beds of two types, This tech crop plot, the generator, which we've already seen. They have some unique furnitures. Also, another feature that is actually very interesting for them is they have the platforms, but they also have something called glass. These are interesting because they are 100% see-through. If you give me a moment, I'll show you. Sorry about that. That's the metal. I do apologize. It seems that's not working right now, so that's kind of obnoxious. I was hoping to show that off. They are supposed to be see-through, but it looks like with the new patch they have something to update, which I'm sure the mod creators will as soon as they are able. They are usually very good at keeping up with it. That should be see-through. And if you, I'm sure a lot of people use this mod, they've probably seen it. There's also the leash here to keep things from wandering too far away when you do have your dinos on wander for resource collecting. They have the cooker here, which makes unique items for a variety of uses, such as taming the dinosaurs that they have added, such as the golem. I believe they also have the candy golem.
Don't forget the dice.
Oh, and they add a large amount of dyes. The candy pie for the candy golem. It does tell you what each item is for and what it's to tame. So they do add quite a few unique items to this that may or may not have been in the game. One of my favorites, in fact, is actually the Magmasaur. I always enjoyed that dinosaur in Survival Evolved. So I'm glad that somebody took the time to add it back into the game. Of course, one of their most helpful items, and it can be made early on, is the Discovery water intake. Now, unlike the standard intake, this does not require water. You can place it anywhere, and it will irrigate any of your water tanks, water bottles, buckets, whatever that you place out. And it has a fairly decent range. Let me show you that real quick. See where all the blue shield is. So generally, anywhere in your base that you're actually going to put a water tank or a few water tanks so that you can drink from wherever you're at without having to worry, it's got enough space for you to fit it in there. That being said, this is a fairly short video, but I feel like this mod is well known. It definitely gets used by me no matter what else I've added. It's one of the few mods that I don't remove or haven't removed for anything else in a very long time. It's all around a really good mod, and to make it even better, it is 110% free. The creators, let me pull this up real quick. It's by SmeyRUS. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. But if not, as always, I'll have a link in the description as well as the credit for the creator of the mod. They also have Discovery World structures if you prefer simply just the structures that they've added and created. But a lot of the things they've put back in are extremely helpful, and some of them are very safe, space saving. As you've seen, I've fit everything into a very tiny square of a base without having to expand much more beyond the little area. And to be perfectly honest, this was probably overkill if I was just going to make a little crafting building and stuff it all in. Uh, that's all for now. Hope everybody enjoys the video. Take care. Have a nice night.